Today I'd like to show you how to do some basic maintenance on brake pads and rotors for a 2007 Ford Focus SES ZX4, and I was inspired by some other YouTube videos to go ahead and film this since they were pretty helpful for me, and might as well pass that knowledge along to some other people. So some basic things you'll need. I have a tire iron. Drill, you don't need that, but sometimes it helps to quickly remove bolts if you need to. I have the equipment manual, jack stands, C-clamp, a torque wrench, some extra lighting, some brake grease, nitrile gloves, flathead screwdriver, 15mm hex head, 15mm ratchet, 7mm hex head, brake parts cleaner. First thing you'll want to do, definitely make sure you're on level ground and set the parking brake. I'm going to pop the hood here. I'm using the supplied jack that came with the car. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but it tells you exactly where you should be placing that jack beneath the car. I am not a mechanic, but I was inspired by other videos, and it looked like it was pretty easy to do. This is just a quote that I was given by my repairman. For front brakes for replacement, the total would be $535.63. That's with Napa premium rotors, adaptive one ceramic brake pads, and I bought my own and went with Napa ultra premium rotors, and I went with the Wagner thermoquiet ceramic brake pads I got off of Amazon for $40 with a $15 mail-in rebate. I've got the jack in place, and it didn't quite match up to the picture, but it looks like the frame, it attaches right behind the passenger side wheel well here. And but before I actually start jacking, I'm going to want to loosen the nuts just a little bit. I believe this one is 3/4 inch nuts. Yep, that's 3/4 inch right there. Okay, now I've got the car securely mounted on a jack stand, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen the nuts the rest of the way. Okay, we are looking at the braking components. We have the rotor and the caliper pin. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to unscrew this cap here. And this is what has the brake fluid. Okay, I'm going to set that right there and see how much room we have. Looks like we'll have plenty of room, but just in case, I'm going to put some rags kind of around it just in case there is any overflow. Hopefully it'll catch that. Okay, so what I've done is I've turned the steering wheel all the way to the passenger side so I can get a little better angle of what's going on here. Okay, so you can kind of see the caliper and the brake pad right inside there. So I'm going to pop this dust cover off. pop this lower dust cover off. And what this does, this exposes those slide pins. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this in this lighting, but it is 7mm hex head. Alright, so I'm going to loosen this with a ratchet. I didn't show you that in the parts. So I'm just going to loosen that bottom one. Loosen that top one. And then see if this has enough power to let me do it the rest of the way. Alright. Now I've got that slide bolt there. Alright, then you've got that caliper pin there. You can just pop that out with a screwdriver. The book says to hold it with the needle nose pliers to keep it from popping into your face, but I just distance myself instead. Alright, so now the caliper should be able to kind of slide off, although it will be a little resistant at first. Alright, and I'm just going to slide this off. And I'm going to hang it on a wire hanger. Alright, give you a little better angle here. So we've got our caliper, our outer pad still attached there. This can just come off. That's what our brake pad looks like. Our rotor and our inner pad still in there. Okay, so you'll see our caliper mounting brackets are right here and right there. So I'm going to loosen those to get those brackets off. If I can. Okay, it ended up being a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be just to get those loosened, but I ended up having to use just a breaker bar to get a little more torque there. But now that they're loosened, I can go ahead and take those out. I apologize for the lighting if it's poor, but it's nighttime and this is about the best lighting I have right here. Alright, so I've got my mounting bracket off there now. It's really easy. The rotor just comes off, hopefully. Yep, sometimes it can be rusted on there, but the rotor just slides right off. And over here I'm going to clean off this rotor And so I've got my brake parts cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and spray around it. Hopefully that'll get any dust that's on there. Then I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off and then do the same thing with the other side. Okay, I've wiped off both sides of the rotor, and the other thing I'm going to do is clean this part here. And I'm just going to let that sit there and wipe it off here in a little bit. And as you saw, the outer brake pad came off really easily. This one in here is going to take a little bit more effort, but not much. Just kind of pops right out there. And I heard some dirt crumbling onto the ground, or maybe it was rust, but that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Keep it clean. That'll help reduce noise, which is what I'm trying to eliminate right now. Alright, I hope I didn't skip too many steps here, but I've got a C-clamp trying to push down this piston. You can see right here, that's the outer edge of the piston. So as I tighten, you'll see it kind of retreat back into the hollow piston chamber. And it looks like that's good for right now. This is a 4-inch C-clamp. Okay, so you can see a little bit of dirt has built up right around this edge. I'm just going to wipe that off. Hope you can see that. And then I'm going to take the cleaning spray and spray this caliper kind of around here. I'm personally not going to do this edge, but I've seen other people do that before using the brake cleaner. So I'm going to do that away from the camera. Okay, so I did a couple things while you were away. I sprayed down the caliper, and you can see some of the stuff that dropped off there. I didn't do anything to this part, but one thing I did do, and I haven't seen other people do this, but since I am trying to eliminate some squeaking, I decided to spray the brake pads directly. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but the directions on the can didn't say not to, and they were squeaking pretty loudly, so I just wanted to clean them up as much as possible.